Charles Oliveira recently shared that he believes his overall resume is stronger than both Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev when you compare the opponent's victories, records, and the challenges he's faced throughout his career. Oliveira acknowledged that Khabib retired undefeated and that Islam is currently making history as a two-division champion. However, Charles argued that when you look at the bigger picture, the level of competition he fought, the adversity he battled through, and his longevity competing in the lightweight division, his body of work ultimately stands above both of them. At the same time, Oliveira's upcoming opponent, Max Holloway, is now looking at a possible matchup with Islam Makhachev to test himself against the current pound-for-pound king. Max explained that when he was asked who he would want to challenge himself against next, he immediately mentioned that he never got the opportunity to face Khabib. Because of that, he believes Islam is the closest thing to that challenge, and he thinks it would be a fun fight to make. This comes as Holloway continues building his reputation as one of the most respected fighters in the sport, while preparing for a massive BMF showdown with Charles Oliveira, a fight that could determine the next top contender for the undisputed title.
I also saw you throw out Islam's name, since you're not going to get the fight with Khabib. If that were to happen, would that have to be a lightweight though?
No. I mean, whatever way they want to go.
Okay.
Whatever way they want to go, brother. I want. The question was, they just asked me who you want to test yourself and test your skills against, and I mean, we missed the shot with Khabib, so Islam the next best thing, so that'd be fun, I think.
I like it.
Meanwhile, Israel Adesanya has criticized the UFC's fighter pay structure, calling out Dana White and Zuffa Boxing for reportedly paying Conor Benn $15 million for a single boxing match, while UFC fighters continue to earn far less. During a recent interview, Adesanya acknowledged that elite boxers are among the best in the world at what they do, but he also emphasized that UFC athletes are the very best when it comes to mixed martial arts. Izzy pointed out the difference between what he calls ultimate fighting in MMA versus the more limited format of boxing. He also highlighted the massive gap in fighter pay, especially considering the UFC continues to generate record revenue under its new broadcast deal. The situation becomes even more frustrating when looking at the context. Benn's reported $15 million payday is part of Zuffa's effort to expand into boxing under the larger TKO banner. Meanwhile, major UFC stars like Adesanya, who have headlined huge pay-per-view events and carried entire divisions for years, say their biggest paydays rarely reach those numbers even after bonuses and pay-per-view points. Adesanya has previously spoken openly about fighter pay and believes athletes deserve a bigger share as the promotion continues to break financial records.
Proved it to them, so now again, Zuffa is the next challenge. Zuffa Boxing is the next challenge that he set his eyes on. But with that being said, don't forget he started in boxing, of course, but what brought you to the game? This is what got him to be the name Dana White, the UFC president, is this. So I can see why the other fighters, I'm trying to think, how do I feel? Wait, do I feel jaded by it? But I understand, we know these guys are top class boxers. They're the best in the world at what they do, but so are we. This is the UFC. And if one guy can command that kind of money for one fight, and that's from the same company, Zuffa, and this is what's been keeping the lights on, is the UFC. We love ultimate fighting, not limited fighting. I don't feel jaded, but I'm like, I want 15 million for one fight too.
Oh, I mean, if you guys are taking kicks to the head and
not even, just saying, the bonus has gone up, but that's not guaranteed.
No, that's a drop in the ocean.
Exactly, but that's not even guaranteed.
Michael Bisping may have accidentally revealed several fights planned for the rumored UFC White House event while speaking on a podcast with Paul Felder. During the conversation, Bisping mentioned 3 huge matchups that he claims are being lined up for the historic card. He even joked that the only way the UFC could ever top this event would be if they held a show on the moon or somewhere in outer space. According to Bisping, the rumored lineup includes Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira, Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev, Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. If those fights actually happen, it could easily become one of the most stacked cards in UFC history. Interestingly, these comments came only hours after Dana White stated that the White House event had already been finalized and would be officially revealed sometime this week. But according to Bisping, the secret may have already slipped during that podcast conversation.
I mean, now I'll say it now. The 6 fights at the White House, and I'm sorry to bring it up again, but it is a big thing. It's never going to be topped. Khamzat versus Strickland, that's going to be one of them. Jones versus Pereira, that's going to be one of them. Ilia versus Islam, that'll be one of them. Is that ever going to be topped? Can they top that?
I think that's
UFC on the moon.
I think, unless you're going into outer space.
What about Alexander Usyk fighting Rico Verhoeven in front of the pyramids of Giza?
That's insane too. That's up there.
Ian Machado Garry recently accused Islam Makhachev of delaying their potential welterweight title fight, claiming the champion is asking for more preparation time than originally discussed. Garry said he respected the Ramadan schedule and agreed to fight around April or May. However, he now claims Islam wants to push the fight even further back. Garry questioned why the pound-for-pound #1 fighter would need additional time, suggesting the delay might be coming from the champion's side. This accusation came shortly after Garry traveled to Georgia for an intense wrestling camp, which many fans interpreted as preparation for a possible fight with Makhachev. However, Islam's manager Ali Abdelaziz has denied that any official negotiations are currently taking place and hinted that other plans might be in the works. With Shavkat Rakhmonov currently sidelined and Garry now ranked #2 after wins over Belal Muhammad and Carlos Prates, he remains one of the main contenders for Makhachev's potential first welterweight title defense in 2026. At the same time, other names like Michael Morales and Kamaru Usman are also being discussed, meaning there is still no clear frontrunner for the title shot.
What's going on with the Islam fight?
He needs more time. And his agent's talking out his arse.
Why is that?
Because Ali's full of shit. Little rat.
Why does Islam need more time?
I don't know. No, I believe Islam's ready to fight. I believe Islam's the very best this world has to offer as a fighter. But don't call yourself the pound-for-pound greatest on the planet and try to push for more time. That's all. Anyone, anywhere, anytime. That's the baddest man on the planet, and the guy who lives by that mantra is me.
Finally, Carlos Prates recently claimed that Conor McGregor turned down an offer to fight him. According to Prates, his name was reportedly suggested as a potential opponent for McGregor, but the Irish superstar declined the matchup. Prates believes the reason is simple. He would be a very dangerous stylistic matchup for McGregor, especially considering the long layoff the former champion has had from competition. Interestingly, Prates admitted that if he were in McGregor's position after such a long break, he probably wouldn't take the fight either. He described himself as an aggressive finisher and said the matchup would be extremely difficult for Conor. This situation adds even more speculation around McGregor's long-awaited return. The former double champion has been linked to several possible fights for 2026, including the rumored White House event and International Fight Week in July. However, no official fight announcement has been made yet. Prates, who is currently ranked inside the welterweight top 5, says he sees himself as one of the most dangerous opponents in the division and believes many fighters are avoiding him right now.
Cara, pra mim não chegou nada do UFC, tá ligado? Acredito que eles tenham me oferecido sim pro McGregor.
Eu passei até a informação que eu falei com uma pessoa bem informada que trabalha com você, que me disse isso também, que eles chegaram a escutar que ofereceram o seu nome ao McGregor, mas que oficialmente o UFC não ofereceu nada pra vocês. Então é isso também, né? Você ficou sabendo que pelo menos pro lado de lá seu nome rolou, né?
Sim, aí ele deu uma peidada, correu.
Dá pra dizer que o Conor correu por quê, Carlão? Por que você acha que ele correu?
Ah, porque eu sou embaçado, né, mano? Pô, o cara 5 anos parado aí e tal. Não é dessa categoria, embora as últimas lutas ele tenha feito no 7-7, mas não é um cara naturalmente de 7-7. Pô, eu venho aí no hype, nocauteando todo mundo. Então, eu acredito que se eu tivesse no lugar dele, eu também não aceitaria nem fodendo, mano. Acho que ele quer pegar, sei lá, mano. Ele deve pegar aí um ex-campeão.
That's it from MMA Time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA updates.